News Now Houston Earl David Worden's appeal denied. Currently not eligible for release until 2042. Will the 63-year-old survive prison? Craig Hendry needs $18,000 of your money. Says he already has earned $12,000 but needs the rest for an appeals lawyer. Though the court has already given him a public defender. Good Guy Activism arrested in New York City on New Year's Eve. Was he dumb enough to walk up to a police officer while holding a beer and refusing to ID? The only answer is yes. All this and more in this edition of Auditing Insanity. Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of the Auditing Insanity Newscast powered by ReallyCoolNews. I'm AI Johnny Jones, and I'll be your host tonight for 3 strong stories about beloved figures in the First Amendment auditing community. With that, I say yuck, disgusting, and wowza. The things humans will condone in the name of stupidity. On that note, let's dive into a look at the first of these creeps as we ask you to focus on. Craig Hendry needs you to give him $18,000. In his latest address from jail released on Wednesday, Craig Hendry again called himself a political prisoner and urged his followers not to give in to the thugs who are in power and to fund his need for $18,000 to go towards his latest appeal. The self-appointed political prisoner compared himself to Paul Revere, an American military officer and silversmith who was known for engaging in a midnight ride in 1775 to alert nearby forces that British troops were approaching Massachusetts prior to the battles of Lexington and Concord. In this case, Hendry said his ride was his YouTube videos and his message was to warn his viewers of encroaching government thugs who would fine or jail those who ingested prohibited substances and would jail non-aggressive people if they did not pay their mafia-style extortion fees. Despite being appointed a public defender to help him with his recent conviction of felony stalking and misdemeanor harassment, Hendry insisted that his viewers pay him the remaining $18,000 out of $30,000. He said he needed to fund an appellate lawyer. Hendry's appeal to his followers indeed was semi-successful, as his GoFundMe account, to support Craig's work, took in $200 for Wednesday to bring the fund to a total of $5,281, far surpassing its $4,000 goal. The take, however, was not enough to surpass the earnings of our own ongoing expenses fund, which won the day with a single $310 donation from our hate watcher, who has apparently consolidated their daily donations into a single donation for the month. Liberty Trolls Support the Fight for Our Constitutional Rights campaign came in third for the day with a $20 donation, followed by the Angry Vets Boost Scars Mission for Veterans and Citizens with a $10 donation for the day. No other campaigns received donations for the day. Our promised look at donations for December will be again delayed until tomorrow's edition of Auditing Insanity.
Journalism is not free. Both ReallyCoolSite.org's daily newspaper and our daily newscasts are funded by your continuing donations and what we make from our YouTube AdSense revenue each month. If you'd like to contribute to help us keep the lights on, eating, keeping the cats fed and writing news stories to feature on both the newspaper and newscast each day, we do have a GoFundMe set up at the address on screen right now. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch the advertisements on our videos, like share, subscribe and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in.
Good Guy Activism arrested in Manhattan. YouTuber Good Guy Activism was arrested Tuesday night in Manhattan after refusing to present his identification to police while he was holding an open bottle of beer while in public. In the original footage from Good Guy Activism's YouTube channel, Good Guy Activism and his friends were standing on the streets of Manhattan in the rain on New Year's Eve, eventually coming to stand near an ATM near West 3rd Street and McDougal Street. The group crossed the street to go to another bar when they encountered two police officers standing at the doors of the bar. One of the people in the group briefly went behind the officers while the officers asked for Good Guy Activism's identification. Good Guy Activism refused to show his identification and said that one of the officers was holding an open drink as he was holding a coffee. He then said the open beer in his hand was also a container of coffee, while again refusing to identify. After 3 refusals, he was placed under arrest. The YouTuber passed his phone to another friend, and a scuffle broke out as the officers attempted to take Good Guy Activism into custody. The friend who had gone behind the officers was also apparently arrested, while YouTuber BZ Watchdog reported that a third member of the party was also arrested. BZ Watchdog reported on his Wednesday live stream that Good Guy Activism, David New York, and I Am God New York were all arrested in the incident. BZ Watchdog and co-host Wild Journey Nation Free Press rallied against the police, with Wild Journey claiming the police were about to get the auditors because they were auditors. The pair also demanded that the police de-escalate their biases before dealing with auditors, claiming that Good Guy Activism was in the right for refusing to identify because the police were biased. Both failed to look up if police were justified in asking for identification. Contrary to BZ Watchdog and others' outraged reporting, holding an open container of alcohol in public is illegal in public in New York City. Because it is a crime to hold an open container of alcohol, police have the right to ask for identification. Having an open container of alcohol in public usually carries a $25 fine and are up to 1 day in jail in the city. Good Guy Activism was released Wednesday night and apparently threatened a lawsuit in a now private live stream. It is unclear if Good Guy Activism will follow through with a civil lawsuit against the police at this time. News Now Houston conviction upheld. The appeal of former YouTuber Earl David, News Now Houston Wardens to have his SA of a person between the ages of 14 and 17 years old was denied on Tuesday by the Court of Appeals for the First District of Texas. Wardens was convicted in 2022 of SA one of his daughters in 1997 when she was 16 years old. He was sentenced to a 20-year term that he had initially agreed to before filing his appeal. The appeal was based on a variety of claims by Wardens, including that there was jury misconduct due to outside influences, improper comments by the trial court during jury deliberations, the state calling Wardens a racist and a Mormon, and ineffective assistance of counsel. Wardens was seeking a release from prison and a new trial during his appeal. In the extensive 49-page ruling available to our YouTube followers by clicking the text-only link in the description of this video, the court denied all of Warden's claims. In its ruling, the court spent a good amount of time dealing with Warden's claims of ineffective counsel. The court essentially found that what little errors that they found made by Warden's attorney were not enough to justify a dismissal of his case. Likewise, the court ruled that a loud argument between 3 trial attendees, who were arguing after one accused another of supporting AR Pist and S offender, was heard by the jury who were in the nearby jury room. However, none of the jurors heard statements that improperly affected their verdict in any particular way. Wardens, then known as News Now Houston on his YouTube channel, was already a convicted S offender and prolific member of the Photography Is Not a Crime citizen journalist group when he was tried for this set of charges in 2022. His News Now Houston channel still has 179,000 subscribers and 545 videos with videos dating back to July of 2016. It is still believed to be pulling in revenue for Wardens, with Social Blade estimating the page pulling up to $19 a month and $222 a year from YouTube traffic. Strangely, those associated with Wardens have also faced abuse charges. News Now Patrick, aka PayPal Patty, have been arrested on at least one occasion for assaulting romantic partners. Floyd News Now Omaha Wallace has a felony conviction for making terroristic threats and currently is embarking on a life of tourism in Colombia and Brazil. Jack Texas Sheepdog Miller, another known supporter of Wardens, was arrested for possession of CP last year after police found CP on his computer while doing an unrelated search. It is unclear if Wardens will appeal Tuesday's decision. As it stands now, Wardens will not be available for release until at least the year 2042. And we're back. Just another reminder that Jim Finch and company will be back tonight with another edition of Not Another Freaking Jim livestream show tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. on the left coast. We're not sure what they'll be talking about tonight, but they'll be putting their all into getting you away from the same old targets of stream snipes and fake outrage. On that note, that show is off on Friday because the no-good American-hating Mark the Sarcastic Law Thief will be stealing our own Pope Phil II again for his illegal, immoral, and un-American activities. Until next time, have a great night, and remember, hide your shuggies before he hides you.